My liege, I require your assistance.
You require my assistance? You know very well what the price of my assistance is. What gives you the right to demand assistance of the king?
Well, I have these.
3 6s. Your request is granted.
Thank you, my liege. Hey everybody, welcome to Discard and Draw. I'm Steel, this is my brother Tank. Today we're reviewing Kingsburg. It's a great game, it's fun, it's awesome. Tank, what kind of a game is this?
Well, this is a worker placement dice game. It's by Fantasy Flight Games, and in this game you play the ruler of a province, and you must defend your land against monsters.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
It is fun. Let's take a look at it.
All right.
So this is a basic setup for 3 players. You can play this game with 2 to 5 people. 3 or more is preferred. 2 is a little different. There's slightly different rules for 2 players, and I think it makes it a little bit more difficult, but that's because there's only 2 of you and you're basically playing head-to-head. Now, we're not going to go over every single rule in the game because there's quite a bit and it would take too long. And really what we're just trying to give you is a basic review. So, pretty much the gist of the game is you're rolling these dice every turn. Everyone's going to roll the dice. And you're using these dice to buy influence. You take the number that you roll, say for example, I rolled a 5, a 6, and a 3, and you use those in any combination to influence the various people on the board. They start at 1 and go up to 18. So you could, for example, influence the 3, the 5, and the 6. Or you could do the 3 and the 11 with these two dice, and any combination in between. You can go 14 with all 3 dice. That's also perfectly acceptable. And each of these people is going to give you either resources or victory points. And the object is to have the most victory points at the end of the game. You also have these little play mats in front of you, and these are your buildings that you're going to be building. You start on the far left row, and you can only build these ones. And then as you build, you go up further and further, and the buildings get better and better. But they require more resources. So that's the basic gist of the game. The game is played over 5 years, which are 4 seasons. So you go through spring, summer, and fall, and you roll, place your dice, get resources, build buildings, and that's it. And you go to the next season. And then during winter, you will be flipping this card here, which is going to be a random monster. And there's 5 or 6 different monsters per year. And each one has a different battle strength. They start pretty weak, and then they go up in strength as the game progresses. And hopefully you're also going up in strength, increasing your military. There's a lot to do in this game. It is actually a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty simple once you know what you're doing. A game takes probably about an hour to play, depending on how many people are playing, and how good you are.
And if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So it might take a little bit longer if you're teaching people how to play for the first time. And also if you tend to overthink your moves and over-strategize and take 10 minutes just to put your dice down. Now, each person gets to put down their dice one at a time, basically. You're basically going, I'm going to do this, and then the next person would go and put their dice on, and then the next person would go and put their dice on, then it comes back to you. If you have any left, you put your last one on wherever you can, and so forth. Then once all the dice are placed, you start at 1 and resolve them in order, in numerical order, all the way up to the top. Number 18, the King, which requires 3 6s to get. Now, there are 3 resources in the game: wood, gold, and stone. And they have these cool little blocks, painted blocks, to represent each of those 3 resources. Each season, turn order is going to change based on what you roll. The person who rolled the lowest is going to go first, and the person that rolled the highest is going to go last. Each year, you have the opportunity to increase your military strength in one of 2 ways. Either by increasing it along the variable soldier track, which will reset at the start of a new year, or by building buildings, which will also permanently increase your battle for the rest of the game. Now, during winter, when you fight an enemy, each enemy has a certain battle strength that's going to range between a set of 3 numbers, depending on what year it is. You will not know what number specifically it is unless you get the chance to look at it, and there's a few advisors that will let you do that. Should you defeat the enemy, meaning your battle strength is higher than theirs, you get the rewards listed. If you tie, nothing happens. If you lose to them, then whatever bad stuff is listed will happen to you, which could be anything from losing resources or victory points to losing one of your buildings that you've built. Each player's battle mat is identical and has the same buildings on it, so there's no difference between each player for what you can build. However, there is an expansion out now which adds the ability to change your battle mats up so that each player will have a different set of buildings to build.
Okay, everybody, that was a quick rundown of Kingsburg. There's a lot more rules, and
Well, not a lot more.
well, not a lot more.
There's
a few more rules and a few more little minor details that we left out, but that's for you to have to go buy the game and find out for yourself. But otherwise, it's a great game. It's fun. I love it. It's excellent. Go out and get it. Tank, what do you think?
I love this game. This was a game that I got to play at a friend's house for the first time, and I pretty much went right out and bought it myself after I played it because I loved it so much.
True story.
It is a true story. I'm sure I will be playing this for many more years to come, and the expansion also is definitely worth getting. So that if you're going to get the game, definitely look into the expansion too, but definitely get the game because even without the expansion, the game is amazing. So
Agreed. So that's it for this episode of Discard and Draw, everybody. I'm Steele. This is my brother Tank. Check out all our videos
on our YouTube page.
Subscribe, whatever you got to do, and check us out next time.